Yes. So what it means to me, how I came up with that mantra is because I have five children. And it really, I don't recall this ever being a thing when I had my three before. I love how I can talk about my children in chunks, but the thing was it was different before, and I felt relatable to a lot of other moms because the majority of us had two or three or whatever. And then I got the twins and it was next level and kind of isolating sometimes because I don't know many people who have five, and five in 5 years at that, including a set of twins, lots of different dynamics. So I came up with that. Yeah. And I had to self soothe in a way. And so my mantra came about where I was like, you know what? I have to be in this moment because it is too much, otherwise. Like if there was no more looking forward to tomorrow and like planning this and that and like all the details. I kind of had to just like zoom out for a little bit in order to survive, and not just survive, but like thrive too. Because I didn't want to just wait till bedtime. I really wanted to be like, I'm here. This is the last time I'm having a baby or babies with the twins. And I just really want to soak up this moment. So yeah, so that's how I came up with that, was just like I had to stop living for like the next thing kind of, and I had to be like satisfied in that moment and be fulfilled in that moment. So for me, it's my daily mantra. I think about it all the time. This is not something made up. This is like for real. I'm only living for right now because it is just way too chaotic otherwise. So it makes me appreciate the little things, like holding my kids' hands, like really feeling their little hand, or like I would say, we're all laughing and I just get like this moment to just like stop and hear how they giggle, because sometimes I'm like, I don't remember the belly laughs from all of them anymore. So if I can't remember what they're going to be like, what they were like, I at least have to know that I invested myself 100% in that moment. Does that make sense?
It totally makes sense. I'm right there with you. I think that is beautiful. So that leads into my next question about what do you love about being a mom?
Oh man, being a mom is so much that I never imagined it would be. We all, like a lot of us, came from babies being a babysitter or whatever, but being a mom was just, I think it really narrowed in on life, like what really life is all about. And I'm so grateful to my children because they've given me that sense of focus that I don't think I would have had before. It's like a different kind of focus. I wish I could like articulate it, but I love being a mom for multiple things. I have turned my focus into, proper nutrition and like what really matters, and like focusing on each one and accepting each one for who they are. And I think that's like the greatest gift you could give someone, is to love them unconditionally.
Mhm.
And so I never knew that. I never I would I mean, what did you have to love unconditionally before kids? So it's
Right.
like they've woken me up. And I would just say, like, the things that don't matter really don't matter, and the things that do, you amplify that and you focus on that, and it kind of weaves out a lot of garbage. And so I have to thank my kids so much for that. I don't know how else I would have, or when I would have learned those lessons.
Hmm. Yep, I
And
love it.
so, and it's not easy being a mom. I'm not here to sugarcoat it. I've had plenty of failed moments, you know um but I have the tenacity to keep learning from that. I think they're shaping me into the person I've always wanted to be. It's a brutal boot camp, but I guess I signed up for it. I don't
I love so much. What are some of the things you love to do in Chicagoland with them?
I honestly look forward to all the events that I see in Chicago Parent Magazine. Like, I'm like, as if I can't do this on my own. I'm like, I need that magazine, and I need, like, other surrounding magazines, and look for events in the park districts. I just love to stay local. I love going to Chicago, particularly. I love my brother goes to Loyola, and so he likes to show us like, oh, I love eating there, and he'll take us to these like little pockets or like the Mag Mile because my husband and I got married at the Ritz on the Mag Mile, so we're like just really we just love to show them like this is where we were, we used to go here and things like that, and so walking around is enough for us, like that's more than enough. But I do love appreciating the Chicagoland suburbs too for all that they have, because they do put a lot of effort into keeping it close to home and like appreciating community, and it's nice to see those faces again. You like see a family and then you're like, oh yeah, and it's really nice. I like that. I like being like, I kind of recognize that family from somewhere before, or having the opportunity to get with other families, like from church or whatever group, and be like, hey, meet us here and go to those kinds of events. But I rely heavily on Chicago Parent to tell me what to do.
Oh, I love to hear that. Thank you. You are a mom of five. So what advice would you share with other moms?
Well, now that I'm a seasoned mother, I would only took me 5 to get the status. I the one there's different stages of motherhood. And so I don't want someone to jump from 0 to 5 because it's different on this end of the spectrum, or in the middle of the spectrum rather. In the beginning it's like it's one level, then there's another level and another level. And so um if I could really give anyone the advice is just to, like my mantra is just like enjoy that moment you're in, because while it's still motherhood, it is just another level of it. And so it's like no higher and no lower. We're all here. We're just experiencing something different. So I would say that, and I would say seriously, really simple advice. Trust your gut. Trust your gut. Something is telling you something, and we are not empowered enough to make our own decisions. Like we were not like strong enough to do that, but we are. And I think if every woman like tapped into that, instead of always being like, because we have so much information thrown at us now, keep it simple. Keep it simple. Listen to your gut and enjoy that moment, and don't resist anything, because your journey is taking you somewhere. So long as you're like ready for it, you don't have to raise the next, you know, piano star or whatever. It's just like lean into what you're doing.